I think one of the things that I want to talk about is that our economic analysis, when we are thinking about the capitalist or the corporate or the owning class on the one hand, and the working class on the other hand, this has been demonized by those who would seek power and wealth. The idea is this, that when I go and labor for my organization, when I put in my hours, when I do my work can be sold at a price that is greater than what I'm paid. So that's the way that capitalism works, that I have a salary or have an hourly wage, and then my labor, the goods or the services, the products that are produced by my labor can be sold at a price that is greater than what I'm being paid for my labor. That's where profit comes from. I want to go really slowly on that so we get it, okay? So if you are working at Starbucks, I mean, I don't know, any place, but if you're working at Starbucks and let's say you're making 10 or 12 bucks an hour, well, in an hour of your 10 or 12 bucks an hour, so you made 10 or $12, let's say that in that 60 minutes of time, in that hour of time, let's say that you made, I don't know, 30 beverages or something like this, right? So 30 beverages, and let's say that the average cost of a latte at Starbucks, let's just call it $4. So let's say you made 30 lattes at $4 a piece in an hour. So how much money is that? Well, let's see. So 30, $4 a piece, 3 times 4, so $120, right? It's $120 that you made. Now you get paid out of that. So $120 and you got paid 10 or $12 of it. So now we're down to, 100 and what? What'd I say? 120. So now we're at like $108 that's made in profit. Now, you got to pay some rent and some utilities, and you got to pay for the overhead. You got to pay for the coffee beans that come into the store that you keep on the shelves, right? All of that overhead, that costs money too. And so let's say that's even like $50 per hour. For the beans and the syrups and the milks and all that stuff and the lights to keep the lights on and to pay for the marketing and all of that stuff. I mean, let's just say $50. So now you took, the $120 that came in the cash register and then, you got paid 12 bucks for it. So we're $108. And then let's say $50 of overhead. So now we're down to $58. So let's say that at the end of the day, there's $58 that were earned in profit. And I'm doing fake math. I mean, somebody could come in with a calculator and calculate the percentages of the bottom line here, the profit margin, et cetera. And maybe these numbers are not accurate, but I want you to hear conceptually what I'm saying. So $50 of overhead. So you take that out. We're already down to $108 because you paid me. Now $50 in overhead. So now we're down to $58. But let's say that it's $58. So for every hour that I work as a barista, I make 12 bucks. There's $120 of money that comes into the cash register. You pay for people and you pay for overhead at the end of the day. Then you've got 58 bucks in profit. So for every hour I work, I get $12 that's taxed, but the company gets to pocket $50. So with that $50, you get to make more stores. More stores, more employees, more 50 bucks every hour. So every hour, as your workforce expands, that's more money in labor, in wages that you have to pay out at $12 an hour. But those are also more hours worked where you're getting to pocket $50 an hour. And the more $50 that you get, the more stores that you build, which is more 50 on 50 on 50 on 50 on 50, right? So you're getting more in profit than what you're paying out in labor, in overhead, in marketing, in administration, whatever. And we could be even more aggressive with those fees. Let's say that because of inflation, because of supply chain issues, let's say that your profit has dropped now from $50, maybe you're only making $40 an hour. Well, $40 in profit is still $40 in profit for the person who worked it, only made 12 bucks for that same amount of time. So it's the owning class, it's the corporate class, it's the capitalist class that gets to collect on that $40 an hour in just pure profit that I'm only collecting $12 an hour in my earnings. So when we look at it, we're called the working class because for every hour of labor that I put in, I walk away with 12, but the company walks away with $40 or $50. So we're making their profit. That is what's at the heart of this discussion about the capitalist class and the working class. And I think we need to be knowledgeable about that. And this is exactly why there has been an orchestrated attack on socialism, on communism, that, that is going to destroy the country. And, these, it's a handout and it's a welfare state and all of those, because there is look at the government, look at the incoming administration cabinet picks. These are billionaires. These are owners of large companies that understand their profit is derived from the money that I make them as an hourly worker. So what we're talking about in the working class here, in class solidarity, is not extremist. It's only extremist if you're the capitalist at the top who doesn't have to do anything except just own your businesses. So yeah, there's some accountability to quality, to safety, to health and cleanliness, to marketing, to sell the product. Yeah, absolutely. You're making an investment. You're spending some of your money. But regardless of how much money you're spending, anything that's coming out in profit, you're pocketing. And your profit, if you're the owner of a franchise, the owner of these stores, the owner of an entire enterprise that owns multiple, thousands of stores, few thousands of stores. I mean, I think when I was working at Starbucks back in the day, we had 7,000 stores across the country or something like that. So think about how much money you're bringing in, 7,000 stores. If you're earning 40 or 50 bucks an hour in profit for every hour that you're open, you're getting a lot of money and you're not needing to work for that money. But for me to pay the bills and to buy groceries and stuff, I do need to work. I don't get to sit back and collect money. What I do is I go and work for my salary, but every hour I work for my salary is also generating profit for those who are owning the stores, the outlets, the manufacturing plants that, in the industry. Those who are at the top, who are the owners, the corporate class, the capitalist class, they get to collect money in profits without putting in the hourly labor that I put in as a working class. So what I'm trying to shine a spotlight on in the videos that I've been making recently is to help us to think beyond Republican, Democrat, beyond red and blue, beyond progressive and conservative. I'm trying to help us get beyond left versus right and really think critically about up versus down. Is it right that for every hour you work for $12 an hour, you're earning an owner $40 an hour? See, that's the discrepancy that we just need to start talking about. And you have been socially programmed to think of that as lunatic, as extremist, as socialist, as communist, as that's some sort of an attack on the country or something like this. It's only an attack on the country if your station in the country is the billionaire class, which is why I'm raising alarms about the incoming cabinet, because they are the billionaire and the owning, the corporate, the capitalist class. So let's be open-eyed about that, and let's see how our work together in the working class, how that profit that we make, we could distribute that more equally among us rather than just lining the pockets of those who have hundreds of billions of dollars of net worth. And here we are, I'm in a single family house, that cost pennies compared to what a billionaire, what their net worth is.